Namaste students, myself Sunil Kumar from the Department of Computer Science. Today we are moving to the next session based on the chapter Python Fundamentals or Fundamentals of Python. We are going to discuss in our second session. In previous session we mainly discussed about the Python tokens here, Python tokens and also the character set. What is a character set? That is a characters that can be recognized by the Python library, or you can say the character set means a set of characters that can be identified by the particular programming language. That is actually known as character set. Other than that, we started with the Python token. We started with the Python tokens. The different Python tokens are there. What is a token? Token means it's an individual unit of the program or individual elements of the programming. So that is actually known as tokens. In that we discuss many things. We discuss in this. One is the keywords and also identifiers, literals, operators and also punctuators. These are the different tokens available in Python programming. That first one is keyword. We already discussed with the keyword. Keyword means the reserved words. Keyword means that is a reserved words using or inbuilt words using for particular task. That is already there in a programming language that we can use whenever we want. Whenever we want, at that time we can use the particular words. So that is known as reserved word with a special meaning. It is a reserved word with a special meaning. That type of reserved words are known as keywords. We finished with that one. Next we start with the identifiers. Identifier is name given to the program element. Identifier means the name. Identifier is a name given to the programming element to identify the programming element. For example, list or functions or variables. For that purpose we can provide our names that we can identify. That user or we can say the programmer can identify that. For that purpose identifiers are used. Whenever you are going to name the identifier, we have to follow some rules are there. We have to follow the particular rules. Rules is like that. In that we can use only number digits, characters and also only one special character, that is underscore. These three things can be possible. And whenever if you are going to write any identifier names, you should not start with the numbers. You should not start with the number or digits. I can have the digit, but you should not start with the digits or numbers. And we can have any length. In between we can use numbers. In between we can use numbers, and uppercase, lowercase both also different. And keyword cannot be possible. Space is not allowed. So these are some rules that I discussed in the previous session that you should follow whenever you are going to name an identifier. Not only this one, whenever you are going to name an identifier, all the times you have to keep that inside the mind. And after that we are just discussing the literals. Literals means the constant values. Literal means that is constant values. And in this session we are going to discuss mainly about operators and also the punctuators. These are the remaining of literals, operators and punctuators. These three topics are pending in this session. So in this session we are mainly going to discuss about the literal. So what is a literal? Literal means it's a constant value. Literal means it's a constant value. Whenever the values are present in the program language, that value cannot be changed throughout the program. Some values will be there, that value will not be changed throughout the program. That types of values are known as literals, or is also known as constant values. If we take the constant value, means there are different types of constant values are there. One is string literals. First one is string literals. Next one is numeric literals. String literal. Next numeric. Next one is boolean. And also special literal. And last one is literal collections. These are the mainly four is there. Leave the literal collection. Other than that, mainly four we can say. One is string literal, numeric literal, boolean literals, and also with the special literal. These are the mainly four types of literals we are going to discuss in this session. String means it's a sequence of characters. Numeric means it's a digits. Then boolean means boolean value. Only boolean value, two values are there. It's a true and false. And last one is special. That is a special none value. Whenever if you are not providing any values from data, won't have any information, at that time we can use the special literals. These are the different types of literals. So first we will move to the string literals. String literal means it is a sequence of characters. Remember, it is a sequence of characters. String literal, it is a sequence of characters and it is surrounded by the quotes. Mainly it is surrounded by the quote. Means when any value is taken, that value is surrounded by a quote. You can use either you can use single quote or double quotes. Both also possible. If you started with the single quote, you should end with the single quote. If you started with the double quote, we should end with the double quote. That is what. So we can use the single quote or double quote. That is your wish. But either if you use any character or sequence of character, that character is surrounded by single quote or double quote. That is actually known as strings. That is actually known as string. String can be of any length. Length is not matter here. You can use any length of string here. So here, if you take the example A, B, C. So this is actually one string. So known as one string network. Either like this or double quotes. You can use along the double quote. Both also same. Either you can use with the single quote or we can use with the double quote. That is also possible. These types of strings are known as string literals. Means that is a constant value throughout the program. The value is not going to change. Enter the program, the value given that won't going to change in this case of string literals. And here one more topic is that is actually known as non-graphics character. Non-graphics characters. What do you mean by non-graphics characters? Some character cannot be printed directly. Some characters are there. So if you take the character, string literal means the sequence of characters directly type on the keyboard. But some characters are there that cannot be printed directly. Some characters that cannot be printed directly. That type of characters are known as non-graphics characters. Non-graphics character means those characters cannot be typed directly from the keyboard. From directly is not possible to print that. For example, if you want to print a double quote, that is not possible. Double quote is not possible to print. Or if you want to print a single quote, that is also not possible to print. So like that some characters are there. If you want to print that type of special character or that special characters are known as non-graphics characters, we are making use of escape sequences. We can print that by using the escape sequence. Escape sequence is a new concept. By using escape sequence, we can print the different types of characters or non-graphics characters along with the backslash followed by the permanent character. For example, if you want to print a single quote, you have to use escape sequence. Escape sequence means contains the backslash. English contains the backslash. Along with if you have given the single quote. For example, if you have given a single quote like this, single quote will be displayed. That will print the single quote. Backslash double quote will be displayed. Then double quote will be displayed. So like that table is given in textbook. I am not going to explain the table. Just go through with the table and you can understand that. Textbook table is given, so that table different characters are. This is an example I will just along with the backslash you have to use. So if you use along with the backslash, this is going to print the value. For example, single quote means single quote is printed. Then double quote means double quote is going to print. Not only for printing purpose. For example, if you want new line, new line means backslash here can be used. The new line backslash T, that is for tab space. That is for tab space. Normal space you can give. Whenever you want while displaying, if you want the tab space, at that time you can use the slash T, slash N for new line characters. These are the different escape sequences. Escape sequence table is given in textbook. You can go through with that table. So mainly we discussed about the literals, in that string literals. String literal is not completed. Next we will move to the types of strings. Now we will move to the types of strings. Already we discussed with the string literals. In that we mainly discussing here is the types of string literals. If you take the types of string mainly are of two types. One is single line strings and one more is multi-line strings. So Python allows to write the strings in multiple lines and also single line strings are available. So when you are going to write the single line strings, so you have to the single line string, the strings that are enclosed within a single quote or double quote. Strings that are enclosed within a single quote or double quotes, that types of strings are known as single line strings. And remember one more point here, they must be terminated in one line. That strings should be terminated within a one line, or you can say within a single line that should be terminated. That is known as single line string. If you want to take example, you take examples like this. For example, text to one. Text to 1 is example I take text to 1 is equal to ABC. This is one example ABC. So this is valid. These type of strings are known as one line or single line strings, or you can basic string, or you say also known as basic string type. So here one more I will take text 2 is equal to double quote A, B, C. Is also possible. Text in double quotes, either a single quote or a double quote, that can be possible. So these type of strings are known as single line string, or you can say basic strings. So if you have take one more example, right? Here you understand. Text 1 equal to double quote A, B, C. This is invariable. This one is invariable. So when you are going to write the strings or categories of character, that should be end with same line, or we should be terminated with a single line. That types of strings are known as single line strings. Now we will move to the one more type, that is known as multi-line strings. So multi-line string means Python allows the user means that is software developer or the programmer. For them, it is allows to write the strings in multiple lines. Python allows the user to write strings in multiple lines. So multiple lines can be written. Remember, whenever if you are going to write the multi-line string, there are two methods available. The first one is by adding the backslash. By adding the backslash at the end of normal text. For our example, if you are going to write the lines, text if you are writing in two lines, at the end of first line you have to add with the one backslash. At the end of second line you have to add with the one more backslash. So by adding the backslash, then we can write the multi-line strings, and that is applicable only for single quote or double quote strings. That is applicable only for the single quote or double quote string. So if you are going to write like that, whenever if you are going to write like that, then how you can write that? Here we will take one example. Here I will write one example. For that first part, this part I will write one example here. So here text, any text 1. Same thing, text 1 equal to double quote or single quote, both also. Then A backslash B backslash C. So this is actually the method of writing the multi-line string in case of Python. The first part. So you can write like backslash, you can add the backslash with this, or for this for single quote and also for double quote. Here I wrote the double quote. It is also applicable for single quote. For single quote also this is applicable, or for the double quotes also that is applicable. You have to add with the multi-line string. If you go to the multi-line string, then you have to add with after each line. Remember, after each line you have to provide the backslash. End of the first line you have to provide the backslash. The end of the second line you have to provide the backslash. Then finally we should finish with the. So you will take the text. You will take a text as only the 3 characters. You will take text only in the form of 3 characters. Remember, 3 characters are available. 1, 2, 3. 3 characters are available. Then this is actually equal to the text 1 A, B, C. Both are this one and this one both are the same. So here we wrote in multiple line. That is written in only one line, so it will be A, B, C together. So that is in the first case. And second case, by typing the text in triple quotation mark, is also possible with the one more type of string that is known as triple quotation mark, or double quotes or single quote we wrote. It's also possible to write in triple quotes. So that also possible. Here I write here text 1 is equal to triple quotes. Calculate with the triple quote, one double quote and single quote. Triple quote means like that, one double and single. Then we can use the A, B, C, triple. This is also possible. You can use like that. There is no backslash is not required. So whenever if you are going to write the multi-line, there are two methods available. Either you can use with the single quote or double quote. In case of single quote or double quote, we have to use with the backslash. Whenever if you are going to use a triple quote, then backslash is not required. That you can enter and you can write the data in one line after one more line. So these are the two methods to write the multi-line string. So mainly we discussed here is one is a single line string, that is known as basic string. Next one is multi-line string. So this is about the string literals. Next we will move to the one more type, that is numeric literals. Here is the numeric literals. Already we discussed with the string literals. Next type of literal is actually known as numeric literals. After that we are going to the one more type, the boolean, and also the special literals. There are 4 types of literals are available. So in case of numeric literals, the numeric literals mainly used to represent the numbers. Numeric literals, as the name indicates here, it is mainly used to represent the numbers. It digits. Any types of numbers you can represent. But if you take a number mainly are three types are there. There are mainly three types of numbers are available. One is integer types. The first type is integer type. Integer type means only values will be there. There is no fraction part. The point part will not be there. For example, 122, 133, like that numbers are there. So that numbers without any fraction part. Means floating part we are saying normally, or the fraction parts are not there, exponents are not there, or that types are not there. Only real number is the real numbers. And negative numbers also possible, or not real numbers is the numbers, and it contains a negative number and also with the positive numbers. Sign numbers will be there. Negative sign will be there and also with the positive signs. That is, that types of numbers are known as integer numbers. The next type is floating point. The floating point contains exponents sometimes. Exponent will be like 2 raised to 3 like that. 10 into 2 raised to 3 and also with the fraction part. Fraction part is there 0.35, 0.98, 0.58 like that. That types of numbers also known as floating point numbers. The last one is complex numbers. Complex number with the I and j values. I cap and j cap or which is the I and j values, that are also known as complex numbers. So these are the mainly three types of numeric literals. One is integers, second one is floating point, and third one is complex values. These first, if you take integer is again divided or classified into three types of integers. If you take integers again classified into three types. The first one is decimal integers, second one is octal integers, and also the hexadecimal integers. There are mainly three types of integers are present, or decimal values, or integer values are present: decimal, octal, and hexadecimal. Already we discussed with the decimal, octal, hexadecimal in previous chapter on data representation chapter. In data representation, we discussed already is the Boolean logic. In Boolean logic chapter, we mainly discussed with the decimal numbers, octal numbers, and also the hexadecimal numbers. So if you take a decimal number contains 0 to 9 symbols, hexadecimal number mainly contains 0 to 9 symbols, and if you take an octal number, 8 symbols are available, 0 to 7, 8 and 9 are not there in case of octal numbers. If you go for hexadecimal number, it mainly contains 16 symbols, 0 to 9 numbers, 0 to 9 digits, and also the 8 to F characters. These are the different types of number systems what we discussed in the previous session. So here, decimal integers. The decimal integers, normal integers, what you are writing, that types of integers are known as decimal integers. You can take example 123. One example is 123 minus 232 without fraction part, either positive numbers or the negative numbers. Without fraction part, if you write positive number or sign numbers, or you can use the negative signs also, that is also possible. That types of numbers or that types of digits are known as decimal integers. So normally we use them. The next one is octal integers. We are not using them. Octal integers. How can octal numbers we know already? There are 0 to 7 symbols, 0 to 7, total 8 symbols are there. How we can represent that in the computer? Or how we can write that in my computer? If you want to use the octal integers, remember, this is black arrow here. You have to use the 0, you have to use 0 and small 2. You have to use the 0 and 1. Then you can write the octal number. For example, 2, 3. This is actually known as octal numbers. So, always it should be preceding with 0 and 1. Remember, so 0, second is 2. 0 and 1. 0 and 1. That types of numbers are known as octal numbers. Any number that is preceding with 0 and 1. Any number you can write. 0, 20, 72. This one. So these type of numbers are known as octal integers. And remember, if you look at the octal integers, 8 and 9 is not there. Number 8 and number 9, that is not there in case of octal. So if you write like this, this will be the invalid, or it will be the error. The system or Python will give the error for that, because 8 is not there in case of octal numbers. It is not there in case of octal numbers. These type of numbers are known as octal numbers. And remember, they preceding with right here 0, 0. Preceding with 0 and 1. The next type of number right here. Next type of number is hexadecimal Next type of number, that is actually known as hexadecimal number. In case of hexadecimal number, it is preceding with 0x. 0 with small letter x, right? We have 0 like this only. 0 and small letter x, or 0 with the capital X. This preceding with 0 small letter x or 0 capital X. So we can write the value like this: 0 x 1 3 8. This type of numbers are known as hexadecimal number, because if you take the hexadecimal number contains numbers from 0 to 9 and A, B, C, D, E and F. These are the different symbols present in hexadecimal number. So A to F characters are possible, or 0 to 9 numbers. So a combination of that one, we can write like this, or we can write 0x 1 3 E 8. This is also possible. Either it is small x or it is the capital X. These type of numbers are known as hexadecimal integers. These type of integers are known as hexadecimal integers. Mainly 3 types of integers we are using. One is decimal integers, that is normally we can write. Then after next one is octal integers, that we have to start with the 0 and 4. If you take the hexadecimal, 0 small letter x or 0 capital X. This should be used. Then we can write the different types of integer constant or integer literals. So next we will move to the floating point. So first we discuss with the integers, next we will move to the floating point. If you are going to check the floating point, it is also known as real literals. It is also known as real literals. So here if you take the floating point, there are mainly 2 types of floating point numbers are available. One is fractional form, one more is exponent form. There is 2 types of floating point available. One is fractional form, one more is exponent form. If you take the fractional form, it contains the fraction values. It contains fraction values. In example, we can take like this: 0.58, or it is minus 0.32, 1.37. These are the variables. Or you can use the 0.37. If you use a 0.37, it is 0.37. Or you can use it one more, 7 point. If you just use 7 point, you will take it as 7.0. So it's not, some cases this is not right. If you give only 7, that is invalid. If you give only 7, that will be invaluable. So normally these are the different types of fractional form. So here 0.58, 0.58. And negative number and also the positive number is also possible to represent negative fractional numbers, and also with the positive fractional numbers is possible to represent in case of fractional form. One more is next type of it, next category is that is exponent form. Can also represent numbers in exponent. For example, if you take the numbers 0.58 into 10 raised to 1. If you have to represent these numbers, if you have to represent that number, so in case of exponent form, you have to use one letter, that is E. So you can represent this one, exponent form. If you have to represent same number, if you have to represent in exponent form, means you can use like this: 0.58 E 0 1. 10 raised to 1 means 10 raised to 0 1 it is. 10 raised to 1 means that's a 10 raised to 0 1. So we have to use the point along with the E. E is the letter that is used to represent positive values. Whenever if you want to use the negative values, you can use this both is case. And if you are negative means negative 2 minus 2. But also positive. 10 raised to minus 2. 10 raised to minus 2, 10 raised to minus 1. So if you want to use like that, we can make use of minus values. Now that types of values are known as fractional part and another is exponent part. These are the mainly 3 types of integer floating point according to the numeric literals. Exponent, that one more complex part, that is not beyond your textbook scope, is not there in textbook, so I am not going to discuss about complex numbers. So next we will move to the other types of literals. Next we will move to one more type of literal, that is Boolean literals. Boolean literal means that is working based on the Boolean values. If you take the Boolean literal, that is mainly represent the 2 Boolean values. One is true and false. In case of Boolean values, only 2 types of values are available. One is a true and one is false. Remember, when you are going to write the true and false, T should be capital and when false, F should be capital. When everything should be small. So only true means the value is correct, or whenever the value condition is satisfied means that will produce output as true. Whenever condition is not satisfied, that will produce output as false. Meaning two values are possible in case of Boolean literals, that is true and false. That you are going to study whenever you are going to discuss about the control statement. Whenever you are going to discuss about the control statement, you can understand about the Boolean literals true and false. The next one more type of literal is special literals. Special literal here is none, N-O-N-E. None is the special literal. Whenever if you want to represent empty values. For example, if you are going to write text 1 is equal to, if you write A, B, C and string value if you want, so that value will be. If you want to display that one, it will display as A, B, C. It will display value as A, B, C. But I want to create one more text 2. I want to give empty values. I want to give empty values for that. So if you don't want to give any value, I don't want to store any information. In that cases, you can make use of special literals. So a special literal here is N-O-N-E, none. If you given as none, then capital. If given as none is. So it won't store any data. It won't store any data. Data won't be stored inside that, but it will be empty. So this is known as special literals. In some cases that is required. Whenever if you want to create the variable and if you don't want to store any data. And inside the program, when you are going to execute at that time, if you want to store some data, at that cases we can make use of this special literals. These are the different types of literals. By here, we reach the end of session today. In this session, we mainly discussed about the literals. The first we discussed with the string literals, and after that, string literals if we taken, a single line string is there, and also the multi-line string. It's possible to write single line string and multi-line string, and the string is a sequence of characters enclosed within a single quote or double quote. Enclosed within a single quote or double quote, that types of characters are known, sequence of characters are known as strings. Strings mainly are of two types, one is single line string and also the multi-line string. After that we discussed with the numeric literals. In case of numeric literals, first one is integer type is a floating point and also the complex numbers or complex type. And integer type there are three types are there, one is a decimal, octal and hexadecimal. And if you are going with the floating point, inside in the floating point there are again two types are there, fractional part and also the exponent part. Then after that we started with the Boolean literals and also with the last here it is special literals. These are the different types of literals. Based on this one, I will give the worksheet and work out that one. We will meet in this session. Thank you.